Injectors. Do we really know what they do? Well, I do know what mine did. They caught on fire. I went to test them, and let's just say when you have a battery and brake cleaner and you have a little arc in the battery and a lot of brake cleaner everywhere, you get a fire. So that's what happened with these two. I ended up dropping the cart. I actually just threw the cart outside into the snow, and these injectors were on there, and it landed on the top hat and broke them. So I ordered all new top hats. I haven't replaced any of these, and only these. So here I go. That is an injector rebuild kit, sort of. It's just the top hats and gaskets. And whatever these little spacer washers are. You can see the dull ones. These are the used ones. The original one is thinner than the replacement one, but putting these in, everything was nice and tight. Not sure if it really matters. We'll see. So first thing I need are my picks. During that fire, I melted my nice little pick holder. Oh well, it still holds them. I like this one. Has a nice angle. It's good to pick with. Now, I'm not 100% sure the procedure on how to get rid of this top hat. How I was able to get them off in the beginning was they shattered when they fell on the ground. I'm gonna try a different technique though. Screwdriver. So I'm wondering if I can just kinda pry up in there, and if it didn't bust it perfectly good, it doesn't matter. Ow. Well, we're getting rid of those anyways. So I got the top hat off. Also cut my finger with the screwdriver. We're gonna put the washer on. A new gasket, nice and snug. A new top hat. Just kinda, oh, I actually came up with a cooler idea than that. Deep socket 10 mil. They're pretty worthless. I never know why we even need a 10 mil. Probably why it's always gone. It fits perfectly in there. Put that bad puppy on there. Wham bam, done. Now next, this one. That's where this pick comes in play. Just throwing it out. Don't care. Grab a new bad boy. Slip that puppy right on. Bam, ready to go in the car. Now again, same way with this one. All done. What to do now? Oh. So to test the injector, that's what goes to the battery. And this here boy goes in. Oops, upside down. Fits in like so. This piece goes into this. I'm sure everyone who's watching this knows, but for those who don't, here you go. That little hole there, you stick that end in and see how that's beveled to be out of the way. So it's supposed to make a nice tight fit, and it does, it's good. Then this end goes on to a can of brake clean. You pop this little bad puppy off, and then that goes there, and you depress that down, and then it shoots out brake cleaner out of there when there is power. So there's a little solenoid in there, it goes, well, it goes when it's on, and the brake clean comes out. Well, what I did was, while that was spraying, I kind of was messing things up, and it just was gushing out the bottom here, and I got brake clean everywhere. Thankfully it wasn't on this toolbox, but on a rolling cart I have over there. This is another kit I had for different size injectors, and I just melted the piss out of that. Also, the tube that you do the testing on, which is still fine, it just got a little singed. But yeah, I made a big mess. It was not good. Lessons learned. I didn't film myself doing the whole cam removal, there's another YouTuber in NC944. He does a really good comprehensive breakdown of how to remove the cam cover, how to make sure these come out correctly without falling apart and losing which order they're in, and how to install your main gasket, the back gasket, what the torque values are, just everything in here. And I'm not gonna be really good at describing it. His is clear, concise, and just really well presented. When I pulled these out, I felt they were kind of a little dead, but I noticed that they just didn't have any oil in them because they just felt they could just push down and nothing was coming out. And I put some oil in a jar and put the lifter inside the jar and then a vacuum on here, and bubbles were coming all out of it. That same gentleman who has a really good comprehensive video on how to take this all apart, he goes through all about the lifters too. So check his video out too. Don't really worry about mine. I'm just giving you an update of what I've been doing lately. Primed all these full of oil, they're ready to go. I made sure to keep them all in order. Here's the cam cover. It takes a cheese head, a 10 mil cheese head, or a triple square to go inside here, and then a 1 1/4 wrench to go on this bolt here. While trying to torque this off or take this off, I twisted the splines on the triple square. I don't know if you can see. Anyways, I was surprised. I figured this is tool steel, it would snap versus just twist. So I ordered a better one. This was a pretty cheap kit. I guess that's what I get for buying a cheap kit of triple squares, not thinking I'd need them as often as I do on this car. This is the cart that I melted everything on. It's just a mess right now. Yeah, the next thing I'm gonna do is take this off. There's some seals inside here. Gotta take this back cap off, replace the cork gasket, and pretty much, yeah. I was thinking about getting this bead blasted or at least cleaned up and maybe powder coated, but the rest of the engine is just so junky and dirty. I don't want this to be this like nice looking thing in it. So I just kind of want the patina to match. I just want to steam clean the engine or at least power wash it, get it all degreased and call it a day. So kind of the while you're in there deal. I replaced the thermostat in here. That was a big pain in the butt. Got it done, so I'm happy about that. There's new rollers on here and here, and then there's another one way down yonder. I have the belts in, or I have the belts, they came in from ordering them. I'm living where I'm at, gotta wait 2 weeks on everything. It's a slow process, and just when you think you got it all, you don't. For those who've taken this cover off, the cam cover off, know that the bolts for here are pretty tricky to get into. And I got all, what is it, 2, 4, 6. I got all 5 loosened up, no problem, except for the 6th one. It just started rolling inside there. And at first I thought, oh, maybe whoever took it off to do a service just rounded it off. I don't know what the deal is, but I could not get a good bite for the life of me. Thankfully, I had this little extractor, and first try, came right on out. The other thing I had to do was take the old gasket off, and I just grabbed a razor blade. People said just to keep it perpendicular to the surface and just go slow. And that's what I did. Just went nice and slow and made sure everything was plugged up here so I didn't get debris inside. All the little oil ways in there, I made sure to plug up. And yeah, so I need to go to the store and get some red Scotch-Brite. I thought I had some, but I don't, just to get the rest of this little debris off and some brake clean and just clean it up, have a nice clean surface. But I didn't really score anything. Everything looks good. So that's the next step, and then we'll slap that gasket on. Like my little injector plugs, they're just ear plugs. Thought that was cool. So one of the big hurdles that I'm really excited that we got done is I got the rims sandblasted and powder coated. There was a brake, it was this brake, with the pads being on backward, it made this, I don't know, material, whatever it came off, it adhered to the rim and would not come off. I wire wheeled it, scrubbed it, tried all these different brake cleaner, everything, nothing would come off. When I brought it to the sandblaster, he said he was even having a hard time with his strippers and sandblasting, it just would not come off. He actually ended up baking the wheel in the powder coat booth to get it really hot, and he said he was able to start chipping at that, but it still was a toughie. To stick with the original design, we went with the satin black in the middle, and typically these were just brushed aluminum with a clear coat, but we just did silver with a clear coat over it. I think they turned out really well. I have the center caps hidden away right now because I don't want them lost or damaged. I'm gonna throw the wheels on and get them out of the way.